SummerSlam. Okay, let's start. SummerSlam 2023, the biggest party of the summer, Detroit, Michigan, Saturday night, 8 p.m. And also, don't forget to check our reaction live right on this YouTube page. 8 p.m. We are doing our third ever ProductiveCast live streaming SummerSlam 2023, and you will get our live reactions right there. So joining us for the show and the live stream, our crew, Jose and Ryan. Good to see you guys.
Good to
See you, Matt. How's it going?
Good. Can't complain. The weather's been really good up here.
Yeah, it's cool down here too.
And we'll take it until it strikes again. So talking about things that are hot and popping. SummerSlam 2023. There's a lot of things to look forward to. A lot of mainstream, a lot of it hitting the mainstream, a lot of things, a lot of people discussing this event, and it should be very interesting. So before we actually get into the event itself, and we do our thing for every preview show, preview the matches and make our predictions, I want to talk about the lack of matches, which has been a big criticism coming into this. There's no Becky Lynch participating with Trish Stratus. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are going to be in it, despite being the undisputed tag team champions. No LA Knight advertised, and all this other stuff going on. And I want to start with that, guys. What do you think about the lack of big stars coming into this card?
So they did get LA Knight on SmackDown. There's
The
a
Battle
slim,
Royal?
yeah, the Slim Jim Battle Royal seems to be, unfortunately, where LA Knight is going to live. In fairness, it looks like Sheamus is there, and there's like a
Then I
non-zero.
guess it's going to be okay then.
Then there's the non-zero chance that Bobby Lashley makes his in-ring return after creating this new faction, or in the midst of creating this new faction, also in the Slim Jim Battle Royal, and that's all just the SmackDown side. So the Slim Jim Battle Royal is going to fit a lot of folks into this.
And you get what? Respect? That's what's on the line?
Or a Slim Jim. I don't know. In fairness, Macho Man, hey, the like first major spokesperson, right? So you know what? There's some wrestling history with Slim Jim that they can play off of. I don't think they will. I think they just need to, have the graphic on the ring mat for the advertisers. But so they do have a few of them. But yeah, I agree. The women's thing in particular. I mean, no offense to Kevin and Sammy, but they've been screwed pretty much since winning the title. So I wasn't expecting anything different in terms of them. But how are we not getting Becky and Trish? And how is Rhea Ripley not defending the title again? And Dom doesn't have a match. Priest doesn't have a match. There's only one Judgment Day match. It's the World Heavyweight title. And I know that that's going to be an all-encompassing thing, more than likely. We'll get to that when we do our predictions. But she's got to defend this title. Yes, she's super popular. No, she's super popular. But before WrestleMania, she felt like the thing in Judgment Day, right? And now she doesn't. Dom and Finn, like literally all three of the guys have surpassed her in terms of importance to Judgment Day. And I know I'm gonna get heat with people for saying that, but it's true. She squashed Natty 3 times. She had one. I mean, it was a good match because of the hometown crowd reaction with Zelina Vega, but it wasn't a long match. She's done nothing since winning this title. And that was the best match of WrestleMania, for Christmas sake. Like, what are you doing? It's insane that the women got disrespected like this. Again, Trish and Becky, I mean, that could be so many. That could have been a tag team match. That could be the 3-on-3 tag team match. They could have done anything to put them on the card. And I mean, I know we said no matches. 8's still a lot of matches. I do get that. And then 9, if the Grayson Waller rumors are true. And I think they are, probably. Or something to that effect is probably true. Grayson Waller is going to do something with the WWE legend. But that's still like, what are we doing? I get it. It's a lot of matches, but some people have to be on the card. And if that means you have to, make some tag matches or whatever, you have to throw freaking Ricochet and Logan Paul into the Slim Jim. I don't know, but you got to make room for some people, for some other people on this card, because there's too many names missing. There's too many names missing and too many real stories, not even just names, real stories that have been going on for months that are now going to have to wait until Raw or SmackDown after SummerSlam to get any sort of payoff. And that's just not right. It's not good. The fans aren't going to care.
Interesting. Well, I mean, I heard Trish Stratus is still injured. I think that's the reason why it's not in SummerSlam. And Kevin Owens is injured.
Trish has been complaining, as is Becky Lynch on social media. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
but
that's
that
the
I
case,
took a
no one told
picture
Trish.
for
well,
SummerSlam.
I got that part, but I think that's the reason why they waited 2 weeks in Canada is because Trish's nose is still busted.
Like I
That's
said,
why the
Trish has
Monday.
voiced her concern without being on the card. So
Well, of
she seems
course
to
she's
think
gonna
she
say
can
that.
go. She seems to think she can go, as does Becky. No, I don't think that. I don't think either of them would have said something if they knew they weren't cleared to go. I don't think neither of them strikes me as that kind of person that would, talk back about management unless they really felt that they had been wronged. I mean,
But
Becky's a consummate WWE, spokesperson. Trish, again, legend, WWE legend, 100% WWE person. I don't think that they would be posting like they were posting if they genuinely didn't. If they genuinely knew the issue was injury. Now with Rhea, I get it because Raquel is hurt, and that was who they were going to probably try and face off with. But just make her fight someone else. It doesn't have to be Raquel. Rhea's fine. But yeah, for Kevin Owens, you're right. But maybe Sammy will end up in the Slim Jim. That can still happen too, I suppose. But I don't know, man.
probably or keep them off because I assumed that the Kevin Owens Sammy was supposed to go against the other two at Judgment Day, and kind of Kevin Owens injury kind of just squashed that.
Yeah, or Imperium. Actually, isn't Vinci hurt again too?
Well, they're doing that story where Da Vinci's about to be kicked out of Imperium. So I think they kind of wavered off that, and you kind of noticed like even on Monday night with Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn versus Judgment Day, so you could kind of tell that was
That's the
there.
threesome. Yeah, oh, that makes sense. And
Uh,
Dom, double champ Dom. Oh, come on now.
see,
Love
that's
that.
something like yeah.
Love that.
I don't, but we'll get into that a little more. But yeah, it's weird. Do you see next year we're gonna have a double Saturday and Sunday SummerSlam? That's my only last question regarding this.
No,
Agreed. No.
No.
you
No.
can't take you can't if you do that you kind of take WrestleMania and kind of
Yeah.
make it lackluster.
Yeah.
The
That's a
very all the
WrestleMania
pay
thing.
yeah.
All right, I feel you there. Makes sense. Makes sense for sure. All right, let's go talk about the card itself. And let's start it with the tribal combat for the for the undisputed WWE Championship and recognition as tribal chief. Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso once and for all. It looks like this is going to be the end of the bloodline. It looks like this is going to be the peak of where this is going. A match that is 3 years in the making. And we're going to see what's going to happen. Is Roman going to continue his reign and we see him go into the darkness for many months? Or is Jey Uso going to be the one to not only pin him again or make him submit, but will he take his title and end this historic run Roman Reigns is on? Who do you guys think is winning, Roman or Jey?
I mean, I'll go first. I guess I'll take Roman. That's the obvious. Did you see the Cody Rhodes documentary?
No, I
Not
did
yet,
not.
but I want
They're
to.
they're so set in that Cody
Yeah.
Rhodes is going to be the one for Roman Reigns, the dethrone Roman Reigns. It's like
Mm-hmm.
there's no chance Jey is going to even come close to winning that title. I think it's going to be some tomfoolery at the end and kind of cost Jey, but I think Jey's going to look strong. Way better than what was there like Hell in a Cell match
Yeah.
where he just got destroyed. I think Jey's gonna come off a lot stronger than that match.
Oh, I love the Hell in a Cell match too, though. That was good
It,
too.
it, it was good, but I mean, it made Jey look weak,
Hmm.
and it kind of downgraded him a little bit back to
I
the
think,
tag team division.
I think it was meant to, though, right? Because it showed
It-
that Roman was the alpha or whatever.
right, and his brother was coming back.
Yeah. So they needed
Yeah,
the Usos back in full force, right?
so it's
Uh,
kind of. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I agree with Jose 100%. I will say that you could have had this match without the title. Had the title gone to Cody already, you could have been exactly where you are, and you could have had, frankly, the more entertaining ending, which is Jey Uso does take over the bloodline. Had the title not been on Roman at this point, obviously you can't do that now because you got to keep the title on Roman until Mania, until Cody. I think it's going to still be phenomenal, and they've done a really, really good job of making Jey feel like he could somehow do this. And I know, there's always the chance, right? Roman is going away for a long time. I mean, some people are saying that Royal Rumble might be early for his return. Like there's talk that he's not coming back until well on the road to WrestleMania. And so there's always that little nugget of Roman's leaving. Maybe they don't, want to lose the title, but they got the heavyweight title, so they have a main event for the rest of the year. I think that this is definitely going to be Roman's night. They've done a really good job. They've done a really nice job of building this up, making it matter, added a lot of layers to both characters. And then whatever Solo ends up doing with Jey and Jimmy after Roman, because that's continuing. The bloodline's not ending. Roman's just leaving it, essentially. As weird as it is to say that, but Paul Heyman, Solo, Jimmy, and Jey are going to be on TV. They're not going away just because Roman is, and so they're going to be beefing still. I think I'm interested to see what that looks like, and I think this is going to be this could probably be match of the night, depending on how it ends, depending on what goes down. This could be the best match of the night, I think, which oddly enough is not usually Roman's matches. Like we always end up talking about them because they're these big cinematic affairs with the crazy endings and stuff.
Right.
We never usually say, oh, Roman Reigns had match of the night, and I think we might actually get to say that this time.
Well, and that's the thing we really have to focus on with this particular match, because somehow in Triple H's noggin, and as you said, to prolong this Cody Rhodes story for another year, which is also stupid if he's really not going to come back till 2024, early 2024 in the road to WrestleMania. I don't know how you're going to sell us Cody Rhodes' road to redemption. You must really are going to make the most of those last few weeks before WrestleMania, but we'll worry about that then. And it does make more sense narratively that Jey Uso wins this match and ends this whole ordeal and takes over. And it seems that being the tribal chief leader is low-key more important than the titles itself, because as you mentioned, Ryan, the titles are really an afterthought. They're a consolation prize with this, but because nobody is smart in the upper management at the right time, it seems, or at least there's many examples of people not being intelligent enough to make the right decision. We have to sacrifice what could be a very satisfying narrative end because it's August and Roman's going. So I just want to focus on the one match at that time, and as long as it's a 5-star classic, then it's going to be okay. I am very excited, and
maybe not 5-star classic,
but at least make this a 3 years in the making. Like,
oh, absolutely. I think
that's all I'm asking.
Can I ask you guys how do you think it's going to end?
The bloodline or the story?
That match, the SummerSlam. That's going to be the last match of the night. How does it end?
Good question. I'll start with it.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah. No, go ahead. You got it.
For me, you really have to make this. If I'm looking at this, I know it's hard to, if we're transitioning the narrative part of this with 3 years of Jey being on Roman's side and helping him win a lot of his matches, and taking him to this point, and looking at those final promos where Roman was truly gaslighting him, you have to have just Jey bring out that anger and emotion, and the way, if I can have those last 3 minutes, you just have to have Jey just keep hitting him and like, I'm tired of this. I'm letting this go. You've been pushing me to this edge. I will do anything, fuck the wrestling rules. It's personal at this point. So I see this match ending with Jay giving absolutely everything, and I don't know if it's Solo or Roman or the Wiseman who gets the cheap finish out of it. Then Roman gets the pin, and that's how I think it's going to end. I think it's going to end with Jay truly giving every ounce he has left in him, and then he's just going to be simply screwed out of it just because, which would put a damper, but I hope I'm wrong, and I hope it's a little more emotional than that. I want this match to have a lot of emotion. That's one thing I want out of this, and I hope they can pull it off, and don't have Roman do the community theater mental breakdown.
That's a given. That's gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. That's just his mental breakdown phase. But I think honestly, what I think is gonna happen is I think both men, Roman and Jay, are gonna kind of be chirping Solo throughout the match, differently, of course. Roman barking orders, Jay kind of, I don't want to say being dismissive because he could just ignore him, but kind of, like out of the way. Because I obviously Solo's gonna get in Jay's face at least a couple times. Maybe Jay pushes him out of the way, stuff like that. And I think the match actually ends with Roman looking like he's in trouble, Solo coming in because there's no rules, it's no disqualification. So Samoan Spike to Jay. Then Roman continues barking orders, right? He's just got saved again. He's like, do it again, blah, blah, blah. And then I think Jay goes ahead and plants that Samoan Spike on Roman and walks out. The bloodline is dead. Like I said, there is no bloodline after this, even though Roman's going to win. Because bloodline's 4 people. Half those people are gone now. Like, even if Roman wins and is the tribal chief, it's a tribe of 1. It's a tribe of Solo, and he's about to be gone for a year. So I think, or half a year. So I think that Solo goes ahead and ends the bloodline anyway. At that point, it just becomes a matter of preserving the title. They do another 5 minutes back and forth, Roman spear win. Maybe not 5 minutes, Jose? Maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think you guys think of the bloodlines. I don't think the bloodline's gonna end not till Mania. Like, yeah, I like your theories, but I think.
Well, I mean, they'd have to replace the Usos then, which they don't have anyone yet. I mean, they could hire somebody.
The bloodline was always Roman Reigns. It was always the bloodline. I mean, from the beginning, it was only Paul Heyman and Roman in the beginning, and then Jay came in and then Jimmy.
So it didn't become the bloodline until Jay. So you can make the argument that Solo's enough. That as long as he has one family member, he's got the bloodline.
So they're gonna use that storyline for Solo. Like, I can hear you on my honest opinion. I think what's gonna happen, they're gonna have the match is gonna be back and forth. Jay's gonna have his licks. Roman's gonna take over and be dominant for a little bit. Jay makes the comeback. Solo comes down. He's conflicted. Not sure to help out who. Not sure if he should help out Roman because he wants to be the tribal leader. Jay comes in. That slight moment of unsureness, he super kicks Solo. Fucking Roman Reigns spears him, blah, blah, blah. Then Jimmy comes in. I think Jimmy's going to cost Jay. If you want my honest.
You think Jimmy's going to join the bloodline again?
No, Jimmy's going to cost him by accident.
Oh, by accident. Okay.
And then remember what you said, Roman Reigns is going to take a break. Roman Reigns doesn't need to lose the title. You just need to change take him off the focus. So now you can set up Jay versus Jimmy because now you made Jay strong. What are you going to do with him? Jay's strong now. Look at him. He just fought Grayson Waller. He's starting to be main event in SmackDown. You ain't going to bring him back down. Jimmy's got to come back. You're not going to make him go back to being the Usos.
I like
I don't think fans want to see that. Genuinely.
But
I want to see Jay versus Jimmy.
It's not Jimmy's not turning bad. Jimmy did it by accident. So you're gonna go through weeks where Jimmy's trying to convince Jay wasn't. So eventually it's gonna come down to that. And then you still got the Solo. Now they're starting little by little, and you can tell Bruce Pritchard is the focal point of making these storylines because he's putting Easter eggs with Roman and Solo. There, little by little, he's putting little things every week, like he used to do back in the day with Macho Man and Hogan. That he's doing the same with them too, and that's gonna implode. Then you're gonna have
absolutely.
that, and then it's gonna implode probably at the Rumble, where now it's got to be Cody versus Roman, and no hope, and that's where Cody takes the title.
So I see it as, just to me, I see the main event of SmackDown becoming Jay versus Solo. After Solo takes out everybody, Paul Heyman sticks around with Solo. Because I think Roman's going away. I think Royal Rumble, maybe it's a triple threat, maybe it's just Solo. I could see it just Solo versus Roman. That's where that blow up that they've been teasing, that's going to happen for the title. And that same night, of course, Cody wins the Rumble. Cody's got beef with both men. Solo absolutely cost Cody the title. So you could even play up like, you know what, Cody almost wants Solo to win that title, because the only reason he's not champion right now is because Solo. Everybody knows it. And Solo can even bring that up. Like, you would have lost this a year ago if it wasn't for me. So I think Roman beats Solo at Royal Rumble, maintains the title. And then we had to Cody Roman. Now at this point, Roman has beaten the Bloodline. So, he's maintained his dominance. He's still the champ. He's still the top guy, but he's all alone. Nobody is on his side. Paul and Solo are gone. Obviously, Jay is gone. Obviously, Jimmy is gone. So that's, to me, I think it's the easier one. I get what you're saying. I think it would be interesting to have the Usos, or it could be interesting from the story perspective. But I just don't think that fans want to see either Uso look bad. I don't mean bad as in bad at what their job is. I mean heel. I don't think fans want to see either Uso look even remotely heel. They don't want to see the Usos fight. They're in on the Usos. They like the Usos together. The Usos have had this whole journey where they've basically pulled themselves out of a cult. You know what I mean? They pulled themselves out of this thing together. It's been Jimmy and Jay together is the reason they got out. And I think that fans, obviously the Solo bit is going to continue, and Jay versus Solo is definitely the logical next step until Roman gets back. But I don't know.
I think you're going heel and face. I look at you got to think of the same storyline just recently with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They were both good, doing their own bullshit. I think it's the same exact way, and I think Solo will. I think the best way to do it. I think when it blow, I think Solo's gonna turn good, and then you do the turn after Mania, and then Paul Heyman joins Solo, because you always want to surprise
Paul
after
Heyman's a
Mania.
heel. Paul Heyman's a heel. Right. There's no way.
But you're turning Solo back heel. You want
double turn there.
You want Solo. Everybody wants Solo good. Nobody cares about him being. You can't. It needs a mouthpiece, but you ain't gonna get rid of. You want Cody Rhodes to fight Roman Reigns. You need Paul Heyman to stay with Roman Reigns to stay as the heel. They want all the fans to Roman Reigns. I mean Cody Rhodes. That's the only way you're gonna do it. Now I can see where now he lost the title, and Paul Heyman's I'm good. Solo comes in, whatever, and spikes him. Joins Paul Heyman. Now you have a major heel. Roman Reigns can take another break or whatever he's doing, and now you have another focal point.
It's crazy. We have to try and book around. We too, but even the company has to try and book around Roman's vacations.
Well, he barely does any house. I think he does one show every 4 months.
Yeah.
So he's not even in it, and he's not even. Go ahead.
I was gonna say he's not doing a movie. There's a strike. So what's he doing?
He's just going home. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Obviously, the bloodline staying connected somehow. You know what I mean? I think we all agree that this is not the end of the bloodline feud, but I think this is definitely the end of the Roman Reigns part of the bloodline, which could be hit or miss. It could be really cool, bloodline without Roman, or it could be really boring because, yes, the bloodline. The bloodline has to have a tribal chief, and if the tribal chief is gone, who knows what's going on?
But you know what makes it hard? Taking Roman Reigns, if you take Roman Reigns out of SmackDown, what do you have?
You
might get but you might get a week of that. What Reigns gonna decline. The best ratings you get is when Roman Reigns is there.
Oh, what's his name? LA Knight's on SmackDown, right?
Yeah. But LA Knight, eventually LA Knight's getting so freaking buried right now.
Oh, he's not getting buried. We'll get into that when we talk about the Slim Jim, but he's not getting buried.
All right, we're gonna say one extra part of this. And this is the pure fantasy, or maybe it's reality, but it's my show, and we're going to talk about The Rock maybe coming back.
I come
Rock
back.
coming back for what?
The
I come
wrestling.
back.
This man.
The
Let me
wrestling.
say first before we reactions. There is a actor strike. It was said today by the SAG president, Fran Drescher. We are financially, sorry, let me restart. SAG president Fran Drescher said, we are ready to strike for at least 6 months. We want to win this thing. The Rock, let me point out some of these L's he took in the last year. XFL lost money. Black Adam bombed. Young Rock got canceled. This man literally isn't allowed to work. What could he do to erase the bad L's this year? He's not like Steve Cohen and the Mets just buying their players out to go to other teams. He can come back and wrestle this. He could have his beef with Grayson Waller and whatever that is over Twitter beef. They could have their little moment there. Then in this tribal in this tribal combat, just have The Rock come back and do something. I don't know if you just want to even just stand there or to have that stare down they want. And with him and Roman, if they want to lead that, or he just goes, I'm the real tribal chief, or he goes and helps Jey Uso. I don't know, but put The Rock in, because The Rock could use the PR, and he needs something to do, or maybe he just wants to chill
Does
and
he
do
really
nothing.
need?
I don't know.
Does he
Yeah.
really need the PR?
Doesn't need the PR, first of all. He's the biggest celebrity on the planet. Secondly, even if he did need the PR, that's really not WWE's concern. There's no way to put The Rock into this story that doesn't completely screw Cody Rhodes. There is no way to do it, because we know Roman's gone until WrestleMania season. Maybe if Roman is back for the Royal Rumble, you could try and book Roman versus The Rock at Royal Rumble. Maybe, Matt. But we don't know if that's even true. And frankly, that would still be too small. Rock versus Roman Reigns is, as much as I personally don't care to see it, I don't think it's going to be that good to begin with. It's a WrestleMania main event, whether I want to admit it or not. And that would mean Cody's gone. Like, there's just no. It's not going to happen. Absolutely not going to happen. I do think he's going to be there because it is, SummerSlam.
For the Grayson Waller, just like that.
I think he's going to come out. He's going to hit the elbow on Grayson Waller, and that's that. I don't even think he's
while his family is beefing, like that tweet said that went more viral than the report. Man, your family is fighting and about to destroy each other. You're going to go fight this dude who made fun of you on Twitter?
Matt, it's this simple. It's a backstage segment with Paul Heyman where he just stares him down. Do not let him see Roman. If they see each other, then you screwed everything. Stare down with Paul Heyman. Hide him. You have to hide Roman from The Rock. Then do more matches, do more stuff. You have another backstage segment. Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso roll up on The Rock. They talk about, you want to come help us out, Us. He goes, nah, I had my time. Now it's your time to prove that you are the tribal chief.
Then Rikishi comes out.
No, Rikishi doesn't do that. The Rock gives his endorsement to Jey. It's a nice head nod, but he says Jay's got to do this on his own. That The Rock's out of the game now. The Rock had his moment at the head of the table, but now, The Rock's got other things to do for the millions and millions of Rock fans who like his movies and like his tequila and like his football league and like his goddamn everything, because he's got everything ever under his brand. And then Rock goes home, and we don't ever see him involved in the Bloodline story ever again.
Well, I understand how that makes sense, and if they did that, that would be kind of lame, because what people would want to see. But it makes sense.
They cannot let Roman and Rock see each other, because then you'll lose your mind, and then everyone else will lose their mind, and then they'll throw a stupid amount of money at The Rock to put on a subpar match at WrestleMania 40, as opposed to which he will then lose. So Roman will be heading into year 600 as the champion. No, not a chance. Hard veto.
You have anything else to add, Jose, with this?
No, I don't think it's gonna happen. Period.
He's like, wait, honestly, that's probably the most accurate take of the three because it's never happened. Every time we're like, it's gonna happen.
It just literally just makes no sense. Because if you have Rock there, you got to go straight to Roman. You're gonna go to Grayson Waller.
Yeah,
No,
that's
no,
exactly.
like a one-time thing. He just hits the people's elbow and goes home.
It'll fuck up because in the back of your mind, you're gonna think that's not the one. Like everybody's hyped for Roman Reigns and Rock.
No
Like
one's hyped for Roman Reigns or Rock anymore.
I mean, everybody still. If it happened, it's still.
Well,
It's still
if it happened, yeah, but no,
But
it's
yeah,
not
but
gonna happen.
if Rock comes back, that's where everybody's pointing to. It's going straight there.
I could see just like a hodgepodge of like four, like Shawn Michaels comes out, fucking JBL, The Rock, you know what I mean? Like one of those deals, right? And it's just the people's elbow. I really think they could do it. And again, will they do it? Probably not because The Rock doesn't care about WWE
Yeah,
that much.
but Big Foley come in or Austin come in, or like you don't expect them to fight anybody, but everybody.
No, I get what
When
you're
you
saying.
think of Rock,
I
you're going Roman Reigns.
I get what you're saying. I think they could do it, but they probably won't because they don't need to.
Just no point in touching it.
Yeah, they don't need to. They certainly don't need to, and Rock probably doesn't want to. So there you go.
Especially Grayson Waller just lost to Jey Uso.
Well, yeah, but he's been chirping The Rock, and he did The Rock's signature move. Like
he
he's
lost
clearly,
it, and then he lost the edge. He lost. He's been on
of course he lost. He's been on the roster for a cup of coffee. He can't beat Edge.
True, but he ain't gonna beat The Rock either. So
no, he's definitely not gonna beat The Rock. He's gonna get squashed by The Rock, like Eric Rowan squashed by The Rock.
I just think you save him for when you're about to do it. I think it'll be a bigger pop.
Save him for his Hall of Fame induction. Don't worry about it anymore.
Personally, whenever that happens.
Yeah, personally, I think you just wait for that speech and don't worry about it.
All right.
So we have Seth freaking Rollins versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship. As we remember, 7 years ago, they had a match for the Undisputed Championship. Seth Rollins injures Finn out of the championship despite winning it. Seth took him out. 7 years later, Finn Balor can get his revenge. It's too bad he has this big faction behind him now because this would be such a great story without the Judgment Day. But, you know, such is WWE life. Do you think, like me, that Finn is going to win this championship and then they will tease Damian Priest stealing it from him? That seems like the obvious thing going into it, right?
Did you just say Finn's going to win?
Yes, I did. I think Finn Balor will defeat Seth Rollins for this title, and they will have a feel-good moment of getting that championship 7 years later after he was injured.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. I actually agree, Matt. I obviously, since Jose doesn't agree, I'll just go into your point since it's your point, and then Jose can do it with the counterpoint. I don't agree about the fake cash in. I think Priest will probably cash in, actually, because that's an instant face turn for Finn Balor. He has this feel-good moment, 7 years in the making, instantly loses it to someone who's supposed to be his buddy, turns Finn face, gives Priest, head, a little bit of a head start trying to be the top heel on Raw because Brock is going away, so they need a top heel on Raw. And yeah, I think that they've done. I don't think this was the original plan. I really don't, but they've done such a good job with this feud. I really do think they've done a good job. Consensus online seems to be that everyone agrees that they've done an awesome job with Finn Balor. 7 years in the making, same event, relatively brand new title. Obviously, it was a Universal title last time, which was brand new. No one had held it before. Although, Seth is holding this title, it's still brand new technically. No, Seth's the first champion. There's so many parallels. I actually do think because no matter what, this ends with Priest as world champion. Like, that's why he's Mr. Money in the Bank. He's not losing his cash.
Senior Money in the Bank.
Yeah, sorry. Senior Money in the Bank. Priest is going to be the world champion. They have no intention on him losing the cash in to Seth or to anybody. So I think they're just going to do it. Give Finn that in that moment of celebration, then take it away again, and boom, you've got your next feud. Seth can do, I don't know, whatever he wants. See Seth Rollins. He can go to freaking SmackDown because they need someone else over there now. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Do whatever he wants. He's one of the top guys. He's a made guy. He's a WWE legend already. This is not going to hurt Seth in any meaningful way. But it will absolutely make Damian Priest's career, and frankly, it will revive Finn Balor's career even more than Judgment Day on its own already has.
Tell us the other side of the argument, Jose.
I mean, what? Do you think? Wait, first of all, do you think Finn Balor's gonna turn face?
I mean, if he gets cashed in on, yeah, he's definitely turning face.
He's not turning face. There's no way in hell. If you look at the storyline, how it's perceiving, Finn is way better as a heel than a face, and it just shows it. And even on Monday Night Raw with the confusion and how he did Damian Priest dirty.
I get what you're saying, but if Priest cashes in on Finn, they can't possibly go with Priest as the face. Can't possibly do it, especially if it happens at SummerSlam.
I think if Priest cashes in, he's gonna do it on Seth in front of Finn.
So you're saying Seth wins and then some point in the future,
you can totally see.
Sure, no,
totally. He's so better at being the jealous heel. Like his promos are spot on, and if for you to flip him, where everybody's saying his promo game has been his best it's ever been since WWE, since he started WWE. He's not gonna pull. 100%. He's not gonna pull that as a face. Those promos are not. So I can totally see what Damian does. If Damian does one, cashes in on Seth, they do a little. The next night at Raw, they do a little celebration, and that's when Finn turns on him and Priest turns face.
Totally viable. I don't disagree with any of that. And if they're going with Priest as the face, then I could totally see it. I just feel like that 7 years thing, it'd be a feel good moment for fans, even though Finn is the heel, and that's the only reason of the two. That's why I picked that one. But that is totally viable. And yes, if you want to keep Finn as the top heel on Raw, then that's what you do. You have Priest cash in after Seth has won a hard fought match or whatever, and then Finn just takes him out. Then on Monday after when they do a Judgment Day celebration, yeah, absolutely, that's totally viable. I think that is probably almost equally likely to what me and Matt said as going to happen. I think it might genuinely be a coin toss, which is why this match is so fun. I could see either person winning this match because I could see them doing either of those two things and having it make total sense with the story they've told, because they've been hitting that 7 years in the making thing. They've been doing all that stuff, which could, I think that, but they've also, like you said, Finn's been absolutely wrecking it as a jealous heel ever since Priest won the Money in the Bank briefcase.
So, and it just points out how envy and jealous he is, and then now you see that his has Damian Priest and Damian Priest just surpassed him. What he couldn't do, it just enrages him more and makes him even a stronger heel, which then you can replace and bring someone else into Judgment Day, and then you just bring up Damian Priest. By you flipping, who's going to lead Judgment Day? Nobody sees Damian Priest as a leader of a Judgment Day. Are you ready to disband Judgment Day completely?
It'd be Rhea and Dom would kind of just be doing their essentially it'd be disbanding Judgment Day, really. Because Finn and Priest would be doing their thing, Rhea and Dom would be doing their own thing, which is what's happening anyway.
Yeah, but they're doing it as a group. They're going in a grouping every night and every show.
Yeah, but the stories are going to
destroy that.
All the stories are separate. That's what I mean.
But they come together.
Oh yeah, they're physically present. Yeah, they're always together. Yeah.
That's another reason why I don't think Judgment Day will leave, because of Dom. How Dom is so over, you need Judgment Day for Dom.
I think you just need Rhea for Dom. I really do. I don't know if you need the whole package.
Eventually, Rhea's gonna leave. I'm not eventually that's gonna take its toll. It's gonna take its whole thing, but you need the whole group together. He's never gonna win a single title. That's why they gave him the North American title, NXT title.
You guys are hating on Dom. Here's
that's right. I don't like. I'll say
Dom.
it.
I love.
I mean, Dom. I like to hate him. I like to hate him.
The perception of him, he's not going for the Intercontinental. That's Walter, and he's holding it for at least until September. So I mean, you want that's also why I also view that as the other jealousy. Because now if you give Damian Priest cashes in and Seth, it doesn't make Seth look weak.
No, it doesn't.
Then you have everyone except for Finn to have a title.
Mm-hmm.
So it just makes more sense than the enraged jealousy. Then they're going to transfer over to that feud. And then you might have a triple threat or whatever, wherever that goes.
Sure, yeah.
It just makes common sense. That's the road they're going to. I just can't see where you have this jealousy in he does all these promos 7 years, and then all of a sudden he just turns face.
Yeah, ultimately, it's how you take the 7 years promo. If you see it as him being bitter for 7 years, which is definitely part of what they're packaging,
Right,
then
right,
yeah,
right,
it makes sense that 7 years he gets so close and he still can't do it because
right,
Damien did it. And
right.
there you go. That jealousy explodes. Or 7 years he finally gets redemption. Just when he gets redemption, he loses. I think both are equally. I think again, coin flip of a match, which is why it's going to be such a good match, especially compared to last time where we knew Finn was not going to win. We all said
Right.
last time on this show, like if this was next month, like if he was doing this for a month longer, if Seth
Mm-hmm.
had a month longer with the title, then we'd be like, oh my god, who's going to win? They did it. They gave us that second month, and so we're here. And I think what we said last time is still true, that both guys have done awesome work. Everyone involved feels like they could walk out as the world heavyweight champion, which is good because that title means almost nothing. So at least the story around the title is compelling and interesting and makes for awesome television. Um, yeah, so I agree, Jose. You could totally be right. I had to pick between the
Right.
two. I had to flip a coin. Who did I think of Judgment Day was going to walk out with the title, Finn or Damien? And
Which is good. I mean, which is
that's
good
that.
because really that's probably the only match that's really conflicting. Like
Yeah,
it could go either
absolutely.
way.
I agree. It's pretty much the only match that
Hmm.
That could have some speculation to it. But yeah, and we're gonna see it live together. And join us as well this Saturday, 8 p.m. on our YouTube page is our third ever productive cast for SummerSlam. Now let's talk about Cody and Brock. You know, for a match that's now for a feud that has extended for 4 months, for a feud that has gotten pretty ugly, for a feud that you could write so many great, hard hitting, vengeful, gut throat things about. The blow off match, you're telling me the blow off match is just going to be a regular wrestling match? Stupid, 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 stupid. No dog collar, no 3 stages of hell, no hell in a cell. You'd think with all this going on and these promos now look straight up corny, you'd think the blow off match would at least have some stipulation, but I guess they're just going to straight up wrestle. And in that sense, it is stupid as hell. I just wanted to point that out. But
Really?
obviously Cody is winning. Yeah, you need to have there needs to be
Okay.
some blood into this. There needs to be
Let
some
me so
violence.
let me ask you a question. All right, let's go. Let's believe the theory of Cody Rhodes can beat Brock Lesnar in real life. What match would you give Cody Rhodes the edge?
I told the three
What
stages of
stipulate
hell.
you honestly think 3 stages of hell he can beat Brock Lesnar in?
Yeah, he's
Also, this
Cody
is
You,
Rhodes. He's the
way
American
too
Nightmare. He just had a great
way too much. What's
documentary.
it called? Way too much time for a 3 stages. I thought they were
Uh,
gonna do a strap match actually, or dog collar match or
mhm.
whatever. I did think they were going to, but I'm not mad that they're not. I don't think it matters. I just assumed they would because they kind of sounded like they might.
Yes, in all seriousness, the 3 stages hell is too long. But let's just say at least a whole no holds bar match.
They could do that right before the match if they wanted to. Have
I
them
mean,
fight
sure,
well,
backstage.
sure they could
well, you
say
just
before this match will be no disqualification at the
Yeah.
last moment. They could do that, sure. I just think this blow off match should have at least more implications that it's going to be a violent affair because at least that's what those promos are implying. But they're just going to have a regular match,
that's
which
interesting.
of course could be good too. But I just feel that there should be blood.
You see, here's some theory in that you want Cody Rhodes to look strong, right? You put a stipulation in. It's like let's say dog collars match, right? Or a strap match, either or they're both pretty much the same.
They're
One's on
very
the hand,
similar
one's in the
matches.
neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got at the end of the day, you got to hit the 4 posts, right? That's how they end the match. They got
Oh
one
no, strap
corner.
match you can pin.
Oh,
Strap match is
well,
pinfall.
usually it's when it's a little guy versus a tall. Is guy has to hit four
Right. Yeah.
buckles. So all right, you could go with that theory and let's say that, and then you'll make Cody Rhodes like he won, but he won barely. Like you
Well,
want
yeah,
him to
you
come
want not a
strong.
real match.
So you want really want what you really want is a la Eddie Guerrero versus Brock Lesnar.
Him to distinctly beat him.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree with Jose. And NXT actually has done a lot of this over the course of its entire tenure, but especially recently. Like
Mhm.
regular matches have felt like incredibly violent affairs. Look at pretty much everything Ilya Dragunov has done in NXT since coming back from during the COVID times. Every one of those matches feels incredibly violent. And Cody is of the same over dramatic kind of ilk as Ilya. Obviously, he does it better than Ilya, but
Mm-hmm.
he can absolutely play up the violence of a regular match. Brock Lesnar won SummerSlam, just decided that Randy Orton needed to be bleeding, and then went ahead and did that with his bare hands. So in terms of we need blood, Brock could just do that. I mean, he's an actual, an actual machine. So I mean, they might even do that. Like they might even call back to when he just decided to bust Randy Orton's head open hard way for seemingly no reason. So that could still happen. You could still get your blood. Yeah, I don't mind that it's a regular match if it is a regular match. If it's not, that's also fine. Cody needs to pin Brock Lesnar. I think he's going to. I think Cody's going to win. I don't know why you would have Cody lose. He has to overcome the adversity at some point, and I think now is the point to overcome it. Maybe he gets thrown in with Judgment Day after this. He's
Judgment Day. To fight Judgment Day.
Sorry. Fighting Judgment Day. No, he's not going to join the Judgment Day. No, because he's got to do something until freaking January. So
yeah, right.
Who knows what that is? But
also, I just realized you can't have a no holds barred match with Cody and Brock because you already have one with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso.
Yeah, it'd be too similar to Tribal Combat. You'd be comparing them directly. Yeah.
Right, you can't have that.
Brock Lesnar retirement match, you think?
That's never happening.
I mean, eventually he'll retire, right? But I don't think it's right now. He'll go away after this, but I don't think it'd be a retirement.
I wonder who his next opponent will be. Gunther?
Well, who?
Could be.
Lesnar after this.
Lesnar? I think Lesnar take a break.
Well, yeah, I'm saying returning from break. Who do you?
It's too early to tell right now. I think who you
Logan
figure
Paul.
Out.
Oh, that'll be the day.
Why not?
Why not? If Damian Priest comes back as a face,
that could be big, yeah.
I think he tries to take Damian Priest's title.
Bobby Lashley again, because that still never really got resolved.
True.
All right,
very
excellent
true.
points. And speaking of Gunther, let's talk about the Intercontinental title. Drew versus Gunther. Let's be real. Gunther is going to pass that historic reign to have the longest Intercontinental Championship, but I'm sure this will be a fun match at least. That's all I have to say with this. And Gunther, I saw made Austrian history. He made their national paper. He made the front page of their national paper. And go Austria. The biggest influencer from Austria since Arnold.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about the other one before him, but
no,
at least since Arnold.
Yes.
Gunther though. This has to be at least a fun affair, at least. Obviously, Sheamus, Drew, and Gunther had a classic match, triple threat match. Now shave the fat from that, and it's just Gunther and Drew. It should be very fun to watch, don't you think?
Yeah, it sucks.
Even though we know who's gonna win.
This match shouldn't have been on the card.
Yeah.
That's the only only complaint I have, because it'll be a good match. Yes, Gunther's gonna win. But this match should have been removed. And this should have been something else. They had too many people.
Simple as that.
Yeah, they had too many people who needed to have a standout match, a solo match. LA Knight, all of the women we mentioned before that are not getting it. So this match can happen just so we can see Gunther win again. Now, Gunther winning is always very entertaining. Drew fighting is always very entertaining. So, but in that regard, it's going to be an awesome match to watch, like physically, just to view. But in the back of my mind, I'm going to be like, this should be someone else's spot the whole time for the whole, what is this? The 10 minutes they're going to go, however long they're going to go. Just going to be like, this should be someone else's bit.
I think this match is for the casual fans, not the dirt sheet like us, like the internet people.
Sure.
This is so, you can tell this is so
Gunther's big, Drew is big. Yeah. Drew just came back. No, there's definitely reasons to put it on there. I do get it. I'm just in my head. Right. I will never get past it in my brain that this should have been Becky and Trish or LA Knight winning the US title or something. That's what this should have been.
I wouldn't even put Becky in. I think that match is gonna be so corny. Like I wouldn't. Of course,
I'm not. It's gonna be. It's Trish Stratus. She's like 50.
Yeah, but that's why I said I rather have Walter and Drew, just because I know, even though I know the outcome, it's gonna be a good match.
I think LA Knight probably should have gotten a U.S. title opportunity here. This probably should have been that match.
Can we also mention, even though it was announced that Matt Riddle will not get pushed anymore, that he beat him on a house show? Like the fuck?
He beat who?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but did Matt Riddle beat Gunther in a house show recently?
Probably by disqualification.
Yeah, I doubt that Gunther got pinned.
Seriously doubt pinned.
I don't know. Let me just look that. You're probably right, but I did see something like that. Anyways, but
I'm about to say they just announced that he ain't getting pushed anytime soon. And somehow
Riddle just announced that. Basically, if you saw Riddle's tweet from yesterday, Riddle pretty much just announced that.
Riddle's going.
He went ahead and just called wrestling fake, which is not something people who are long for the wrestling world do. So,
yeah. So I'm reading right here. It says here, Gunther suffers defeat against 3-time champion in title match 1 week before SummerSlam. Unless this is a straight up lie from Sportskeeda. It says it right.
Yeah, it can't be true because
Sportskeeda.
It's Sportskeeda. It's not real.
Can I just read let me just read it. It says,
go ahead.
Intercontinental champion Gunther suffered a rare defeat against Matt Riddle in his title match at a recent Super Show live event in Florida.
Like by DQ then, probably.
The night's opening match saw the Imperium lead put his title on the line against Riddle in a singles match. However, the bout ended with interference from stablemates Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser. The Imperium members' actions led to Riddle's victory via DQ, preventing title change.
Yeah, I'm sure that happened then.
However, this wasn't the only defeat for the reigning champion. The DQ finish set up a massive 6-man tag match in which Riddle teamed up with the Alpha Academy to take on Imperium. The intense bout ended with Riddle, Otis, and Gable picking up the win, marking Gunther's second loss of the night. It's worth noting he took his lead. Okay, well, whether this is an example of clickbaiting.
It is clickbaiting. Sportskeeda is a clickbait website, but
is Sportskeeda the worst wrestling website? Say it right now.
Not gonna get into that, but
Jose, what about you today?
You can say Jose.
All right, but
read the Daily DDT, read Last Word on Sports Pro Wrestling. That's what you should do.
I like it. So, okay, Gunther is gonna win, and he's gonna be champion until September. Not too shabby. So, Ricochet versus Logan Paul. That's happening at SummerSlam. Very interesting to say. This is probably going to open the show because Jake Paul is going against.
It's not probably. It is opening that show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So let me just say, Jake Paul is taking on Nate Diaz in a boxing match in Dallas, and Logan Paul wants to be on his side. So even though Nate Diaz, the non-boxer, going up against the professional boxer, so. Wonder how that's gonna all unfold, but we'll see Logan and Ricochet go at it. Probably, I would say less than 10 minutes. But can we have Ricochet win for once? Or
technically, we could, but no,
no,
no, it's gonna be. Logan.
So you see Logan taking this.
Logan hasn't won a singles match since last SummerSlam, so yeah, he's gonna win.
He's definitely winning.
How's he gonna win?
By pinning.
Knockout. Yeah, knockout punch. Ricochet tries a flamboyant move, gets caught, done.
I do think they'll probably try and do some like fun one-upsmanship at the beginning of the match. Like Ricochet does like a flip, so Logan does a flip, then Ricochet does like a double flip, so Logan does like a crazy thing.
You're basically doing it this is just a viral match. You're basically just looking for like 1 or 2 spots to go viral, and that's it. But
they're gonna jump
viral. This is the viral match.
And how great it comes off. It really will determine where you go with Ricochet and where he goes. Because if it's a dud match, his career's done. I'll give him a welcome sign to AEW.
His career's not done.
If he doesn't pull this match, it's done. If you don't pull Damian Priest, he's done. It's like stick a fork in him. He's gonna be sent to the back, waiting for Braun Strowman to come back. He's done.
So ready? Listen, here's the deal. Kofi Kingston, obviously love Kofi. He can't do the Kofi spots anymore. He's just he's failed the last 3. So Ricochet's going to get moved into that. So Ricochet, they're going to parade him out every year to do some flips at the Royal Rumble, and he's going to make a bunch of money. Yeah, make a bunch of money doing it. By the way, he's not going anywhere. in terms of his actual career ending at WWE. But yes, I agree with the rest of it that this is going to be them jumping at each other for a while and then a knockout punch to win. And if everybody really likes it, then maybe Ricochet gets like a kind of a solid push out of this, a little bit of a singles run because you'll have, coming off that Logan Paul momentum. And if they don't really like it, they're going to say, well, that was fun, and then move Ricochet back to where he came from and forget the whole thing happened.
Yo, remember when they put Ricochet versus Lesnar at one of the Saudi shows?
Yeah, you know what? I do remember that, and I think that was a missed opportunity because they crushed him, and I think that would have been more interesting if they did like what they did with Daniel Bryan. I get why they didn't, because Ricochet's not Daniel Bryan, or sorry, Bryan Danielson. But yeah, no, I do think though, Jose, you're right that if this doesn't get some viral attention, they're just gonna start ignoring Ricochet again. Yeah, they're just gonna
that means WWE failed. They missed out. They could not figure it out.
Ricochet specifically is what they're gonna do.
It's your fault.
Yeah, it's Ricochet's fault specifically. But Logan Paul will bear no responsibility for the outcome of this match, nor will WWE Creative, at least in the minds of the WWE Creative team.
Unbelievable. You really
hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good and we don't have to worry about this.
Right.
I hope so. So Ronda versus Shayna, aka Ronda's retirement match.
MMA rules match.
Yes, which we literally said at the show, why not have it be an MMA match? And it is. And by the way, let me say the MMA rules for in this case. The MMA in a professional version of MMA rules. Pinfalls are not valid. Matches typically only can be won by knockout, submission, disqualification, forfeit, or by going by referee's decision. Saying that, how is Shayna going to beat Ronda?
I probably submission. I would love for it to be referee stoppage. Like I would love for the referee to be like, "You've hurt her too badly. She's out. She's out cold." Like, you know what I mean? I would love that. I think that yes, Shayna's gonna win. Obviously, why would you have Ronda win and then leave forever potentially? But it's interesting they're doing this because I think what they're trying to do is they realize that the only thing Ronda's good for at this point, and for WWE's sake, obviously, she's a human being, but in WWE's worldview, she's only good for the fact that she was a badass MMA fighter, which is objectively true. So they're just going to see if they can't freaking just take that little piece off and just put it somewhere else. So they're going to try and be like, what if Shayna is our MMA fighter? I mean, she is an MMA fighter, technically. We'll see if we could just do exactly what we were doing with Ronda that didn't work, but with Shayna, because she, can cut a promo and is better at wrestling, by and large. So it'll be interesting to see if it works. This, transfer. It's like was the Space Jam? The Monstars stole the talent from the NBA players because they're just see if the Shayna stole the talent from the Ronda Rousey MMA fighter. They're going to see if they can just make everyone think of Shayna as an MMA fighter first and foremost. I don't think it'll work, but it'll be a fun match. I'm excited for it actually, which I wasn't excited a week ago. So the MMA rules have given me something to look forward to.
Are they taking the ropes off for this?
I hope they put a cage down.
Okay. What do you say, Jose?
That. I'm just going to go to the sake of argument. I'll take Ronda Rousey.
Ooh, why? Just because I said Shayna?
Make this show interesting a little bit.
All right, so if you were doing it, and if you're going to book Ronda to win, how are you doing?
Easy.
All right,
Ronda wins by submission.
Armbar, of course.
Correct. We'll go with that theory. Ronda doesn't have an issue with Shayna, tries to forgive her, try to give her a hug. Shayna turns, beats the living shit out of her, gives you the reason to get her off the show completely. And and she got her heat back.
Okay.
Shayna doesn't need to win this match. Here's my theory. This is where I was gonna go with Shayna, but it might now I just got convinced listening to you to go with Ronda. Just you put Shayna over Ronda. Let's say you do that, or Shayna wins. Where do you go with Shayna? Straight to the title?
Yeah, probably.
Rhea's the champion. You're not gonna have two heels go at it.
Yeah, sure you can. Rhea's not. Who even knows? Make it a
Do you
triple threat.
honestly, let's be real honest with each other. Rhea versus Shayna is no money. You got Raquel right now. Raquel's going to be the one to take Rhea out. Then guess who comes in? Shayna comes in and takes it. I think
I would.
Shayna's gonna lose, beats the shit out of Ronda where Ronda's gone, and then guess what? When Ronda does decide to come back for a one-off, you can go right back to that. And guess what? Shayna can get her win back. Take the heat, beat up a bunch of like Dana Brooks and Natalia's in the world. While you're doing that, freaking Gonzalez gets the title because that's where it's leading. And then Shayna can get placed in and you have a feud.
You think Raquel is the next women's world champion?
If anybody's taking the title of Rita, it's Raquel.
Well, I don't think anybody is. Okay. So we agree.
It's eventually going to happen. Eventually you're going to go there. You're going to make another star.
I think we don't. I think she holds that till next Mania. I think we could see Bianca versus Rhea at next Mania. And then maybe Bianca wins the title off Rhea.
No, because then Bianca.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't get to that match.
That's gonna be next.
Yeah, we got the next. I'll say this. This is one of those. WWE has a lot of matches where they're like both people need the win, and it's always so frustrating because they put two people who need to win. This is like the antithesis of that. Neither person needs to win. Ronda's gone probably forever, certainly for a while. And Shayna, to Jose's point, even if she's the next challenger for one of the two world titles, is not going to win it. So, like, neither one of them needs to win this match. I agree with Jose 100%. I just think that, Ronda's been kind of a jerk about wrestling over the last few years.
That's why I don't like her.
Yeah, but you could totally see she'll do a Saudi show.
Oh, sure. No, I don't mean that. I think she'll do it either way because she likes money. I'm saying that if you're WWE, you punish the person making fun of the thing on the way out.
But I think you're right. If you're a freaking breaker or whatever, but you're Ronda Rousey. You're like a national name. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, yes, but I think
how loud?
Neither one of them needs to win.
Going to be when Ronda enters that arena. How loud are the boos going to be?
Very loud. No one wants to see Ronda.
Good
right now. Well, I'm not good. Obviously, she's still a person.
Can't bite the hand that feeds you.
And by the way, we're speculating this is her last match. Like nothing came out of this. Nothing's came out of it. Well, we're assuming it because it's dirt sheet, but not Ronda hasn't said anything. WWE hasn't said anything. We're going to assumption this is it. We don't know for sure. We just know that she's going on a break.
I have enough folks that I trust from the stuff that I do. Like I'm not a journalist. I've never claimed to be one for wrestling. I don't do dirt sheets. That's not what I write. But I work with people who do the rumor mills, and they try and find these stories. I've heard it enough times now that I believe it. That Ronda, maybe again, you never say never. Money is a really strong motivating factor, but Ronda's not looking at a future return. If something comes to her a couple years down the road, maybe she'd reconsider. But
made some bad investments and need some cash.
Sure, yeah. But Ronda has from what I've been hearing, it sounds like Ronda has no immediate plans on a return to WWE. Like not 10 years, not 4 years, no plans. Anything could change, but no plans.
Let's focus on the other women's match in this. A triple threat. Asuka versus Charlotte versus Bianca for the Women's World Championship. Pretty star-studded. I'm really excited for this.
Yeah. I want to hear Jose's take since he seemed ready to go like 10 minutes ago on this.
Exactly. So started with Jose. What's on your mind with this?
Are we really debating? We know Asuka's going to win this, right? And we know Bianca Belair's turning heel finally. Let's go.
So I think you're right about the Bianca thing. Bianca's definitely gonna come out of it with a new, I don't know about a heel attitude, but a heel-ish attitude. Oh, because she's joining. I think she's gonna end up joining whatever
the Hurt Business.
And I don't know if they're calling it that, but if they do, she's gonna join them. And people really like the Hurt Business. They do, like genuinely. And so even if it's meant to be a heel faction, I don't know that it will be. So I don't want to call her a full heel, but she's gonna get that attitude, that mean streak. She's gonna, bend the rules to try and get ahead. She's gonna act like a heel. I just don't know that she'll actually end up being one, because by joining Bobby Lashley, and people are just excited to see the Hurt Business back, I think that they're gonna, cheer them either way. But yes, I agree with that bit. But I don't. Is it bad that I kind of feel like Charlotte might win?
Well, she always wins.
Which is definitely part of it. But I'm conflicted here. I'm not saying it's Charlotte, because obviously Asuka is like the big money match that they're trying to get to.
Correct.
And so the only way you do that is if Asuka wins here.
Correct. But then you also, Io's going to cash in on Asuka, and that's what sparks that feud. But you also Charlotte face. If you have a face Charlotte, Bianca's full-blown heel. It's the only way. You can't make Bianca a heel unless you have Charlotte as a face.
Charlotte's not a face. Even if she is a face, she's not a face.
Still turn face. But she's not, but she is.
Sure, fine. Same as Bianca's going to be a heel, but she'll be with Bobby, and everybody loves Bobby, so they'll still cheer her anyway. Yes, they'll boo Charlotte even if she's doing good things, which is why I think that ultimately they're going to end up balancing each other out no matter what happens. Either they stay traditional face heel, or they both switch, but nobody likes Charlotte and everybody likes Bianca and Bobby and the Street Profits together as a new Hurt Business, and so they'll cheer for them anyway. So it ultimately will mean nothing in terms of the fan reaction. But I don't know.
Do you really think they're going to cheer? You put a lot of stock on people cheering the Hurt Business.
I think they're going to. I really do. People have wanted the Hurt Business for years. No. They've wanted the Hurt Business back for years.
Yeah, as heels, no fade. Nobody. They want them back.
They're going to cheer. They're cheering. They're cheering.
Ain't nobody's looking for the Hurt
Business. As soon as the graphic comes up, people are going to cheer. Mark my words.
I was looking at signs. I didn't even see a sign when I went to the Garden for a Hurt Business to come back.
Mark my words. People are into the Hurt Business.
Yeah, because they're looking for a nice heel group. But they got Judgment Day. I haven't heard not one person be like, "I'm begging for the Hurt Business to come back."
For years, they've wanted the Hurt Business to come back. Every time Bobby Lashley's on screen with anybody who was in the original Hurt Business, the next day it's just people like Hurt Business reunion.
Last time Bobby Lashley was on TV, everybody booed him out the damn building. So you're trying to tell me put the Street Profits?
He wasn't in the Hurt Business at that point. He was just Bobby Lashley.
You think you put in the Street Profits that's pretty much doing nothing, and then you put a heel Bianca Belair, they're gonna all decide, you know what, I'm gonna cheer these guys.
No, here's what the actual math here is. One, yes, I think two people do actually really want to see the Hurt Business back. Genuinely, I do think that everything I've seen indicates that there's a sizable group of people who would love to see the Hurt Business come back. So that's number one. Number two, the Profits, the only thing they'll have done to turn heel is get in a limousine with Bobby Lashley. And Bianca, even if she does turn heel, is still Bianca Belair. She's still beloved. Some of the most cherished moments of the last 4 years on NXT, Raw, and SmackDown have revolved around Bianca Belair. I mean, obviously, people will do what they got to do. They're coded to follow the show to some extent, but no one wants to dislike Bianca. They want her to do something different because they're bored. They don't need it to be heel turn. They just need her to do something different, to get out of the title scene, to change her character up a little bit, and joining this new faction will do that. But essentially, you're taking three faces, throwing them with Bobby Lashley in the Hurt Business, which people want back anyway. I don't think they will boo. I mean, maybe a little. I'm not saying it's going to be like John Cena Royal Rumble return when that Hurt Business logo pops up, but people are going to cheer when they get what they've been asking for. And more than half the group was a face a week and a half ago. So I don't think that it's going to be a lot of booing. However, I'm going to say this. I think that if we're going to do Damian Priest cashing in on Seth, as you're saying, I'm just going to use your worldview for this one here, then I think they're going to do my story, but with Io and Bayley. So I'm going to say that Charlotte wins this match. I'm going to go for it. You picked Ronda to make things interesting, and I'm going to pick Charlotte to make things interesting. I think Charlotte wins because, of course, they get Bayley versus Charlotte. Charlotte's going to be a fake face, as we've discussed. No one will like it, but it'll be
Except
fine.
you.
Well, I mean, I like Charlotte as a heel too. I'm not discriminatory, I just like Charlotte. Bailey's going to be a challenger for Charlotte. Bailey's going to finally win the title. Io's going to cash in on Bailey. Boom, there you go. That's going to be, again, do I think that's right? Probably not. But I also don't think Ronda's going to win. So this is my Ronda Rousey pick, just to make it interesting. I could see them doing it. It'd be interesting. I'd enjoy it. And then you just do Asuka after. You don't need Asuka to be the champion. You could have Io be the champion and Asuka faces Io. That's fine too.
Should be cool. Should be really cool. And the final match to discuss is the SummerSlam Battle Royal, aka here's your paycheck match.
The Slim Jim match.
Do you even know who's in it?
We know that Sheamus and LA Knight are in it. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, well, the confirmed participants, as right here on this site, it says yes, LA Knight, Sheamus, Tommaso Ciampa, Sasuke Nakamura, Otis, and Chad Gable so far.
Nice.
You can add Bronson Reed to that too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Odyssey, Jones might be in there. He might be debuting soon.
So we expect LA Knight to take this, give him part of his push. But how do we make this interesting of any sort? You go over the front row. You go over the top rope. Now you go over the top rope. Oh my God, you go over the top rope. Here comes a legend. He's going off the top rope. All right. So
sounds like you just don't like battle royals, then, Matt.
No, I do, but I'm just like you said, like
you just described every battle royal in Royal Rumble ever, but you did it like angry.
It's just like, what else are you gonna do? Why couldn't we put LA Knight in the United States title match, which isn't going? I want to be on the record here. I don't like Austin Theory, and I'll say on his birthday, happy birthday, but you are annoying. You suck. And I wish there was a match to see LA Knight versus you in the United States title. I know Ray was picked, but he received a concussion, and hopefully he recovers from that.
Maybe Ray was picked,
or
Escobar won.
Okay, sorry, you're right. Escobar won. Anyways, but why couldn't we do LA Knight versus Austin Theory?
Put some respect in his name, though.
Anyways, I'm sorry for everyone I've offended in the wrestling community. But that's what should have been the match, is Austin Theory versus LA Knight to we don't WWE doesn't want to be proven wrong when they don't pick who's going to be the champion. The people pick who they want to be the champion, or they want to have a push, and then they demote them out of spite. But we'll see. I saw another report saying
they're not demoting him out of spite. I need him to win the title just so we can stop having this conversation, because it's not true.
I'm just representing the people who love LA Knight.
No, I get it. You're representing the movement.
Yeah,
movement. He's better than the United States Championship. He doesn't need the United States
sure.
Championship. He could win it. It'd be fine. Do you guys remember? This was a long time ago, but I'm assuming you all do. When Enzo Amore was cruiserweight champion,
oh,
and they did a segment during they had that one time where the ropes magically became purple, and they had a cruiserweight segment on every Raw. And they had and they had Enzo come out, and they had every single cruiserweight in the division come out, and Enzo just obliterated all of them on the microphone. It was very funny. I say you do that. You want to make this interesting? Because I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, LA Knight's a fine professional wrestler, but he's not like special in the ring. You know what I mean? I'm not like, I need to see that LA Knight match. Like LA Knight is special because of his connection with the fans, and because basically he's funny on the microphone. So yeah, everyone's in the ring, have a couple people do their entrance as you always do, and then before the match starts, the last entrant is LA Knight. He's got a mic in hand, and he just makes fun on his way down to the ring. He can walk around it once or twice. Everybody else in the match just runs down everybody else in the match. Then they have the match. They, blah, 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 blah. LA Knight wins. And now it's because there's no stakes other than maybe a Slim Jim. You got to
becomes the spokesman of Slim Jim.
Yeah. You get to showcase LA Knight for real. So, like, yes, he'll have won the Battle Royal. That's fine, but he shines on the microphone. It gives you a chance to do a couple minutes on the microphone with LA Knight. And so I think it'll be a fine showcase for him. I assume that's what this is. The only thing I could think of, granted, I know he's in this match, is that the Grayson Waller thing. If they don't have a legend coming out, they could have LA Knight beat him up. Someone's got to beat up Grayson Waller. They've pretty much promised it at this point. And that could be where you showcase LA Knight, in which case you don't need to do this whole promo, shtick, because he'll be able to do it with Grayson Waller. But I think you have to get a microphone in LA Knight's hand because that's where he shines the most. And it'd be something interesting. It'd be like when what's his name? Like Bray Wyatt was like giving a sermon in the middle of the Royal Rumble that one time.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool, like something interesting, to break up what is, like you said, Matt, arguably not that fun to watch from an in-ring perspective. But yeah, this could have been a singles match for Knight. Obviously, I do feel like my girl Trish Stratus was wronged egregiously, and so for me, make more sense if it was for her. But I understand that that's not everybody's opinion. I think at least LA Knight's gonna win, right? So that's the good news.
Are you really going? I'm taking the field.
Who do you want to win?
I'll take the field. I don't think LA Knight's gonna win.
Oh, you just anyone but LA Knight, huh?
I'll take anybody but LA Knight.
I think I'm still gonna win. Yeah, okay, fine.
Take Otis to win.
He's just saying the field. He's saying anyone but LA.
I'll take the field. LA Knight. Because I don't know who the hell's in the match. I'll take the field.
I feel like the reason we don't know.
I'll take Chad Gable. I'll take Otis. I'll take Ciampa. I'll take them all.
I'll be honest. I think the reason we don't know who's in this match is because it doesn't matter that much. They already announced who's going to win.
I honestly think there's a reason to it.
There might be.
I think it's the second. All right. So let's ever since Money in Bank, LA Knight's kind of just wandered. Like he does a before SmackDown promo with Hit Row. He gets that done. He gets into a tournament. He lost that. Blah, blah, blah. Like he's been fun, just above water. He's there, but he's not there. Like there's not a real storyline.
WWE doesn't like to push people.
Okay, relax for a second. So
deep breaths, man.
There's a reason. There's a reason why Escobar, in theory, is not on SummerSlam. Correct? It's on a SmackDown show.
Yeah.
All right. So Austin Theory might be on that map on that Rumble.
Oh, and the Slim Jim thing, yeah.
Could be. But my point is, you want a storyline.
Definitely, I want to see him get beat up at least. Then.
You want a storyline for LA Knight. Like you can use this. Someone could throw him over the top rope. Start that kind of storyline. Whoever wins the Rumble comes in. LA Knight comes in and does a little stupid move, and he goes, "Yeah," and out the door he goes, and you got a insta feud right there for him. Could be Austin Theory because Austin Theory has been floundering. As it could be Waller. You want to push him, you can push two rising stars at the same time. You could do that. Mm-hmm. But I just don't see if LA Knight wins. All right, cool. Where do you go with it?
Same place he's been. Because all he did was win the Slim Jim, so no one cares.
Right. So nobody cares, but now you can use that to make it make it a feud for him to come into. That's the reason why I take the field. It's just an instant. It's an instant.
The dark timeline, the darkest timeline. There's rumors that a rival from LA Knight's past might be coming back at SummerSlam. The lights go out and the freaking puppets come out. Bray Wyatt shows up at the end.
I think
Bray Wyatt the worst feud of last year.
Bray Wyatt's coming for Cody. Not
Cody or Brock, actually. I do think if we see him, it's going to be after that match.
Brock already said he doesn't want to fuck with because they offered that match to him one time. He said no. He doesn't want Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, but he wants money. I feel like you could convince him with money.
But you can instantly. What'd you do with Cody Rhodes after Brock Lesnar? Brock Lesnar can go back home to fucking Minnesota or Vancouver, where the fuck he's from, and miss him for a little bit, and he'll come back 3 months later.
It could totally be Cody.
And just comes in F5 just like he did for no reason, or we never got a reason why he did it to Cody Rhodes. So they could just do the same.
Yeah, he just did it for no reason.
Just did it to this day.
I don't like
3 months. 4 months later, we still don't know the reason. But Cody Rhodes does. But
Cody knows.
Nobody's shut. Yeah, he does, but he hasn't shared to any of us.
Not telling us.
He can do that anytime. But what do you do with Cody Rhodes? You can't put him in Judgment Day.
No.
You can't go put that storyline because you got Seth, you got what's the name? Zayn and Owens going with that story. What other heels do you have? Nothing.
Gunther, but he's busy too.
Gunther's gonna go deal with. He's gonna deal with Drew McIntyre prior to the Saudi show, and maybe that's when what's his name takes the title away from him. So you really got the one person that's so far, or there's only two people. Realistically, Monday night you can either get Randy Orton come back, RKO's him out the blue, or lights go out and puppets are around the damn building, and you're gonna go back to the Bray Wyatt old.
That's the theory. I will say, interestingly, both those options involve like another second generation wrestler. Correct. And Cody's big thing, is always. I mean, I think part of the reason the Roman rivalry was so good is because like the whole family bit. Cody's entire thing is family, and so Bray's got a family, Randy's got a family. So actually, I don't hate it, and I do think it's very possible that we get Bray back a little bit darker, a little less of the. I love Bray. I know you're kind of new to the. I don't know if you've heard all of our previous episodes, Jose, but I'm a Bray Wyatt apologist. I even tried to make the Bray Wyatt WrestleMania bit with Randy Orton and the freaking Jack in the Box. I even tried to defend that, and I floundered for like 10 minutes before I just admitted it wasn't good. So I like Bray, but the last run was bad, which is why I brought up the LA Knight thing. But no, I think that's a good shout. I think he is probably coming back soon, and it'd be cool if we got to see him go right into Cody, add to that adversity.
But honestly, if Bray Wyatt comes back, it's not going to be the Fiend.
No, it'd be something totally.
It's gonna bring back the old Bray Wyatt gimmick back,
or something totally.
Husky Harris.
No, not that old.
Definitely not.
A little newer, or something totally different. You know what I mean? He's very creative. We'll see what he does. It'll be a heel though. They won't try and.
He'll definitely be a heel, but you can also bring him back as Bray Wyatt of old, and you can also bring the Wyatt family, a new Wyatt family back.
That'd be interesting.
Like Joe Gacy, you can skin him. They're leaving in 2 months. That tag team is leaving in 2 months.
They are. Yeah.
You can bring him back. You signed Bo Dallas. You can bring him in the group. So you can start a whole new group back in. Come back.
It'd be cool if they could actually convert people this time. That was one thing I hate about the Wyatt family. They had a cult, and then no one ever joined the cult for real. Like they joined it pretend, and then they all were like, haha, I was kidding. I want someone to not be kidding. I want someone to actually be like the zealot. Like they fought them, they lost, and they actually converted, and they just stay in the Wyatt family.
And you can bring Rock's daughter because she ain't doing shit in NXT.
No offense, she's real bad at professional wrestling. So I think she needs to stay right the hell.
Yeah, but you just make her a manager. You don't have to. She knows how to take bumps. That's all you really need to be a manager. You don't have to be Sister Abigail. Is what everybody was talking. Oh, wait, you got Alexa Bliss, and she's pregnancy, but she can come back.
Yeah,
I mean. You can do that's where I'm heading with Cody on that. I think that's where they're going. I think that's the rumors everybody's been saying.
Well, it's definitely Bray. I don't know which Bray, but it's definitely new Bray or an old Bray, but it's definitely Bray.
Yeah. The Fiend. I never liked the Fiend. I mean, he looked cool in the beginning, but
he wound up being a big silly joke. That WWE, you had someone so intimidating, something so refreshing, and something so new, and you do a Hell in a Cell match that ends by a referee decision. It's like you are insulting our intelligence as fans, and you made this wrestler look like a damn idiot. I don't care about Bray Wyatt coming back because WWE is gonna find a way to make him look like a fool. He should be a film director.
But that Bray Wyatt, that Fiend. Was that was so destined to be a train wreck. Like he was so unstoppable.
It's a hard character to book. Jason Voorhees works really well in a horror movie. He works way less well in a professional wrestling.
Yeah, but it's
I'm sorry that I didn't really put two together. How could you do a genuine supernatural figure like that in wrestling where you come out to get hard, where you have one of the most important aspects of a horror character is the darkness. And you can't do that in a wrestling match.
Well, they did the darkness because they had the red
And it
lights
looked
stuff.
dumb,
Well,
stupid.
yeah, but
And it was sponsored by Mountain Dew.
no, what you need is when you have someone like that. I mean, same with Jason, you need Freddie. Like, if you wanted to have a match with someone who's supposed to be this
Unbelievable.
unstoppable monster, the only person then who can ever beat that monster is a second unstoppable monster. And then you just created a problem because now you've got two people who can never lose unless they're fighting each other. So
I mean,
yes,
dummies.
I agree with Jose. It was going to be
Why
difficult
Triple H?
to book
Why?
that. It's going to be hard to book that for more than a couple months.
That's why I never liked it.
Unbelievable.
Even the demon character, Finn Balor's demon, he was so.
Oh, he lost all the time. So
He lost like out of all the times, he probably lost 3 times.
all of them on the main roster.
Oh yeah, like when he was NXT, demon, it was done. That match is. There was no way the other person was winning that.
Actually, once, right? Because they took the title off him.
Was it as the demon?
I believe so.
Is wrestling supposed to be this hard? I guess so, but and dumb question. Are wrestling writers part of the Writers Guild? Are they known
No,
as
they're
independent writers?
They're independent.
Everyone's independent contractors, Matt. That's how they get to do
Okay.
all the things they do.
Just making sure because I don't know if you could have the best writers in the world, can they convert a wrestler like that believable?
Oh, sure. But you need to A, build the entire company around them. And B, you have to
Aaron
give
Sorkin,
them
the
long
WWE
breaks. You have
record.
to give them like long breaks. Like you do like 2 or 3 months, maybe 4 months, then something happens, someone barely survives, like a DQ finish or like a count out finish, holds on to the
Right.
title. And then, you go a long stretch and then you bring them back to do another rampage. I mean, it's horror movies. Horror movies are the monster comes out, destroys a bunch of camp counselors. They figure out how to stop them for a little bit. And then
the
4
sequel.
years, 4 years later, the sequel comes out and it all happens again. That's what you'd have to do.
It's just like Roman Reigns. It's like now, but you need to give him like the problem with Bray. You never gave him no weakness. Like with Jason is water. Freddie is you pull him out of your dreams. And, everybody had a weakness, but with Bray Wyatt there was none.
Jigsaw had cancer. Turns out.
Yes, everybody. That was the issue. They never gave him a weakness, something somebody can come and pull through.
Qualifications and Goldberg. His weakness was Goldberg.
Yeah.
Again, insulting our intelligence at that
fairness,
point.
that was the closest to, that was Freddie, I suppose, right? Freddie versus Jason. They got another monster from the past to come out.
That was so fucking.
Should have been somebody like Kane or Undertaker, like actual monster, not a Goldberg. But
this is another, and part of that is why I like talking about this because of just,
Fucking Goldberg. I fucking love
him. I think that's a good note to end on. LA Knight win that battle royal. But as I said, 8 p.m. we're going live here on this YouTube channel and at Productive Conversations Podcast. If you're listening on YouTube, check us out 8 p.m. live streaming this whole event. And we will see how these stories unfold in real time. So it's going to be a good time for sure. Jose and Ryan, I thank you guys so much. And I'm really excited to go really, really in deep with this while the show happens.
Should be good.
Can't wait.
All right. Good night.
Have a good night.